What's good, everybody? I hope you guys are doing great. So today's video is going to be about 21 Savage. So make sure you guys get a good look at him. His other character is clearly Ja Morant, right? I think that's how you say it, Ja Morant. You know, he has a weird name, but we'll get to that later. So as you guys can see, they are clearly the exact same character. You know, their eyes are exactly the same, the face structure, everything. They look so much alike. It's actually ridiculous. You know, right here you can clearly see that they look the same. You know, this is clearly his other character. And keep in mind that his name is 21 Savage, right? And Ja Morant is always wearing this 12 chain, you know, because he is number 12. And when you flip that around, you get 21. So there's so much more mockery with this. You know, that's just one thing to point out. But I'm going to point out so many more things at the end of this video. So make sure you guys watch this whole video because there is so many connections with this. It's actually crazy. So something I want to point out right here, we got some pink, white, and blue in the background. That means, you know, the T flag. I can't say the word, but the T flag, which means that he's inverted because the original character in this situation, the base character, is a female crisis actor that supposedly passed away, but she didn't actually pass away. You know, she is now 21 Savage and Ja Morant. But if you guys want to know about that person, make sure you guys go subscribe to my Patreon because me and Divine Sade will be making a video about that over there. You know, we can't talk about crisis actors on YouTube anymore because YouTube deletes those videos and, you know, it's not even worth it. So that video is going to be on Patreon because the base character is literally a female crisis actor. It's crazy. And it's so obvious that she is the base. But anyways, as you guys can see, this is 21 Savage. He looks just like Ja Morant. And here he is with the 12 chain again. You know, so much symbolism that he's 21 Savage. Right here, they look so much alike. It's crazy. And they have the exact same smile, too. You know, they kind of throw you off with the face tats on 21 Savage. And Ja Morant doesn't have any face tats, so, you know, that kind of throws some people off. But if you look past, like, that look that they try to give with 21 Savage, you can clearly tell that this is his other character. And then here we got pink, white, and blue in the background again. But yeah, as you guys can see, they look so much alike. And here he is with the 12 chain again. You know, clear mockery that he's 21 Savage. And then you got Ja Morant and 21 Savage right here. They look so much alike. Their noses are very, very similar. The only difference is that 21 Savage's nose is a little bit skinnier. But other than that, the shape of it is exactly the same. And right here, they have the same side profile. And then right here, you got Ja Morant with the 12 chain again. And he looks so much like 21 right there. Now let's get into all of the mockery with this because there is so many connections. So the first thing I want to show you guys is 21 Savage himself tweeted this, right? And he said, I hope I'm able to witness Ja Morant and Zion Williamson play on the same team one day. So the fact that he tweeted directly about Ja Morant is extreme mockery because that is literally his other character. You know, of all people to tweet about, why would you tweet about him? You know, and this was everywhere for some reason. You know, they're just putting the truth in plain sight. And now I want to show you guys a video of Lil Wayne because for some reason he really loves Ja Morant. So I'm going to show you guys a video of him talking about it.
I'm a real big fan of Ja Morant. Yeah.
He's tough.
Man.
He's tough. He a killer.
Man.
He a killer.
Man.
He a problem, bro.
Is he?
We gotta get him on the show. I met his daddy at All Star. His daddy is cool, so we gotta get John on the show. We gotta get him on here.
Man, he a dog, bro. I'm a real big fan of Ja Morant. Yeah.
He's tough.
So for some reason, Lil Wayne is a huge fan of Ja Morant. And Ja Morant saw that clip and he responded right here on Twitter and he said love. So the connection with this is Lil Wayne actually remixed 21 Savage's song Bank Account. And he loves Ja Morant, you know? So there's a connection right there because he also likes 21 Savage. And now another connection is Ja Morant made a tweet and he said, I need Meek Mill to drop ASAP. And that's kind of funny because 21 Savage and Meek Mill are close friends as well. Right here they have a song from 3 years ago. And then they have another song from 5 years ago. And then right here there's a picture of them together. And also they also have videos of them playing basketball together. Now another big connection with this is Ja Morant is right here with Lil Baby, a rapper. And 21 Savage is close to Lil Baby as well. And Lil Baby responded to 21 Savage. So 21 Savage said, let me hold some, you getting all the money. And Lil Baby said, you should have put me on Immortal. At 21 Savage, devil. And then he put a devil emoji. So that reminded me of the song Immortal. You know, in this tweet, he's referring to 21 Savage's song Immortal. As you guys can see right here, it's called Immortal. And like I've been telling you guys, you know, these beings are immortal and they play multiple roles throughout the centuries. But you guys should just watch my other videos where I talk about celebrities that are being played by super old celebrities, you know, and that means that they're immortal. And they always make references to being immortal. But anyways, some more Mockery, and this is like extreme Mockery right here from J. Cole. He has a song with 21 Savage called My Life. And in this song, he starts it off with Ja Morant, I'm on my Grizzly. As you guys can see, the lyric is right there. And then it says, Cole shouts out young and upcoming NBA superstar Ja Morant. Moments after hearing this bar from Cole himself, Ja took to Twitter to react to it. And he said, Ja Morant, I'm on my Grizzly. Heard you at J. Cole. And then the lyric is right here, and I'm going to play it for you guys right now.
Ja Morant, I'm on my Grizzly.
So it's crazy that he would say this on a song with 21 Savage on. You know, this is just complete mockery. This is just truth in plain sight right here. Like, I really cannot express enough how obvious this one is. There is so much mockery with it. And I think the biggest mockery, which I've already explained to you guys, Ja Morant's number is 12. You know, he plays for the Memphis Grizzlies, and he's number 12, as you guys can see right here. And this is the biggest mockery there is because he loves the number 12 because his other character is literally 21 Savage. And right here he's wearing a 12 chain, and 21 Savage has a 21 chain. And something that's ironic with 21 Savage is he's always saying F12 and stuff like that, you know, referring to the cops. But yet his name is 21, which is just 12 in reverse. So it's kind of hypocritical and, you know, kind of ironic. But anyways, here's some lyrics where he's just saying F12, no seatbelt, 21. F12, I don't need help, 21. 12 gauge, that's my help, 21. Alright, now some more mockery with this is 21 is 2 numbers, right? That's ironic because Ja is 2 letters, right? So both of the first names is 2. And then Savage is 6 letters and Morant is 6 letters. So even their names connect perfectly. You know, the 21 is 2 numbers, and then JA is 2 letters, and then Savage and Morant are 6 letters. So there's just so many connections with this. You know, it's so obvious. And I think it's very funny that there was so many memes from this 21 Savage picture where he's playing basketball. And he said, fun fact, the famous NBA logo is actually from a picture of 21 Savage driving in for a layup. And now I just want to show you guys some pictures of 21 Savage with a basketball jersey and playing basketball. Because he really loves basketball, and now we know why. His other character is Ja Morant, a basketball player. And right here, he actually performed at a NBA game. And it was Sacramento Kings versus Atlanta Hawks. And he performed at the halftime performance. And here he is on the court. And right here we got Ja Morant. And he looks so much like 21 Savage right there. And then 21 right here doing some symbolism. Alright, so now I want to get into all of the tweets that I found. So this person said Ja Morant and 21 Savage really look alike. and that's a good comparison. This guy said Ja Morant looking like 21 Savage. Never seen Ja Morant and 21 Savage in the same room. That is true, they've never been together. Ja Morant is really just 21 Savage if 21 would have been good at hoops. Ja Morant looks like a well-behaved 21 Savage. I think that's funny, because he really does. I'm just saying, I've never seen 21 Savage and Ja Morant in the same room together. And they got a good comparison right here, too. And then this guy straight up said, Ja Morant is so 21 Savage. Has anyone ever seen Ja Morant and 21 Savage in the same room? Ja Morant looks like 21 Savage for real. And then Ja Morant tweeted, "You ain't for me if you ain't all for me." And somebody said, 21 Savage, is that you? And I like this guy's tweet. He said, "Convince me 21 Savage and Ja Morant aren't the same person." You know, he wants somebody to try to convince him that they're not the same person because they look so much alike. And then this guy says, "So am I late to the Ja Morant is 21 Savage conversation?" And then there's a video of Ja Morant playing basketball, and somebody said, "Ja Morant, or is this 21 Savage?" Ja Morant kind of looks like 21 Savage. Ja Morant reminds me of 21 Savage. Ja Morant looks just like 21 Savage. And then they said the same thing. And then there's a video of Ja Morant, and it's funny because he always has the number 12, you know, it's so ironic. But somebody said, "Why the hell you looking like 21 Savage?" And then this guy said, "Y'all gonna tell me Ja Morant and 21 Savage don't look smack alike?" And right here, they clearly look exactly the same. And he said, "Since nobody want to say it, say they ain't brothers." And then this guy said, "What if Ja Morant is really just 21 Savage pretending to be a basketball player so he can get back into the US?" And right here, he looks just like 21 Savage. Ja Morant low-key looked like 21 Savage. And then there's a whole Reddit about this, and it says, "Is it just me or does Ja Morant look a lot like 21 Savage?" Alright, so another character involved with this situation, in my opinion, is BBG Baby Joe. You know, I'm not 100% sure about this, but he looks a lot like Ja Morant and 21 Savage as well. So I'm pretty sure he's a third character. You know, and like I said, the base character is a female crisis actor. You know, her story went super viral when she supposedly passed away. So if you guys want to see that video, the link to my Patreon is in the description and in the pinned comment. Alright, now something I want to talk about is 21 Savage and where he's from, right? So his name is Shia, I don't even know how to pronounce that, bin Abraham Joseph, known professionally as 21 Savage, is a rapper based in Atlanta, Georgia, US, but he was born in London, and he moved to Atlanta with his mother at age 7. So his story never made sense to me. You know, the fact that he's from the UK is very weird. You know, this should have got everybody to question these celebrities because this is clearly a character. You know, and they made that whole immigration story, you know, they made that a big news story. And even a lot of old people know about that story, and it's just very stupid because he's clearly not from London. You know, they're just doing all of this to try to give him a story. But this has to be the most stupidest story I've ever seen. You know, because it doesn't make sense with his character. But they did that on purpose. You know, it's all mockery at the end of the day. And now I want to get into something because I think 21 Savage will eventually fake his death. So 21 Savage equals 38 in gematria, and death equals 38. And right here he has a picture pointing guns to his head. So I wouldn't be surprised if he also, you know, ends up faking his passing just like that female crisis actor, because that is his base character. But yeah, I just think it's funny that this picture of 21 Savage was going very viral when he was playing basketball, because his other character is a basketball player. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to drop a like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I'm out.